Hey, did you hear about the NCAA reaching a settlement with the NIL?
Nah, I ain't hear that.
So it's a step towards regulation a little bit, but the NCAA, a judge ruled that universities can pay up to $20.5 million to athletes. So
like per player?
So I want to say it's for the entire NCAA. So like it's not just basketball or just football.
Okay.
Right? But you got to think though, like it's a handful of players that's only going to get more than $1 million to play there, right?
Right.
So like that's a lot of money, and I think that's a step in the right direction.
Coming straight from the universities.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That's major.
Yeah. So and there was a $2.5 billion deal for former players. Yeah. So like. I think that's a big takeaway too, that you can retroactively pay, because like the Reggie Bushes, the JJ Redicks, the Tyler Hansboroughs, those players who were like college was their bag. Yeah. You know what I mean? But they didn't quite have. JJ Redick did have a good NBA career, but like the Tyler Hansboroughs, he didn't really transfer. Reggie Bush, he didn't really transfer. No hate. Yeah. But he didn't really transfer. So like, but those players who were household names at the collegiate level, you know, they have a chance to get a check. That's cool.
Also, like, so for like video game, like if they're in the video games,
so that's a different deal. So that's a different deal.
I'm just trying to.
That's through like EA. So like what we're speaking to more so is like NIL.
So how would they get, like, how would a former player get that or have access to that? Like, what would that entail?
To the salary,
right?
So and I said NIL, but like what I think it is because what it was obviously you have like players who are like partnered with like Gatorade or it's brands as local as, you know,
the local car dealership,
right? You know what I mean? But this is more so like a salary cap through the university, like boosters and stuff like that. Yeah. Right. So, and the cap is, you know, like I said, $20.5 million per university. So again, like the top 1% is going to get the millions within that university. Yeah. But I think it's fire that we're starting to see this is a step towards regulation. Yeah, all this tells me is that we're a step closer to regulation in terms, because bro, NIL paying athletes, bro, it was the Wild West.
Yeah, it was getting crazy.
It was the Wild West. And it was like, yo, like, you know, and again, I still share the sentiment of once you lock into a deal, you shouldn't be able to just jump ship after the season.
Right.
Like there should be like some sort of a multi-year, like, hey, we'll pay you $3.5 million, but you gotta play here at least 2 seasons.
See, that's
unless you're like a 5th-year senior and you're giving me a 1-year deal. But I shouldn't be a freshman or a sophomore getting a $2.5 million contract, and then because we went 4-7, I'm gonna jump ship and go to the fucking Power 5 down the street.
But I think that kind of benefits the teams too, in a way.
Okay, I'm listening.
The schools, because I know you thinking like, I just gave you this 2.5 or whatever.
As the university.
Right.
Okay.
But if we just went 4-7 and I had all my faith in you to, you know, obviously I didn't want you to go 4-7. And if we go 4-7 and I'm locked in for the next 2 years, I gotta pay you.
You shouldn't have signed. No?
I'm just saying, like, it kind of benefits them too, to where after that year they can reevaluate.
The university or the player?
Both.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? The player can ask for more, or they can dip, or the university can be like, you know what, it didn't work out with him. It's gonna be a whole new batch of players coming in every year for them.
Man, and really, I'm not mad at people transferring, but I think what pisses me off more is that it's just a high rate. Like,
yeah, it is crazy,
bro. The transfer portal, like, man, it's like, yo, and what we known college sports to be was loyalty and playing for literally the name on your chest. Yeah. I'm not against people getting paid, because I feel like, you know, the NCAA has been eating off the backs of players for free for almost a century.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's like, yo, at the end of the day, because we are giving you some sort of spanky, like, bro, you should, like, yo, where's the fucking loyalty, man?
Bro, that's the thing. Like, I guess it was kind of like forced loyalty because it was like, yo, if you was gonna move, you was gonna lose that year of eligibility. That was gonna kill.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And especially if you're trying to go pro, like you're done. So you got to stay basically.
And that's another end of it too, because there's a lot of coaches now that the high school, like recruiting kids out of high school, the percentage has went down because of the transfer portal. Because now it's like, look, I'll take a seasoned, or a groomed collegiate player who's already got some experience over the high school 4-star.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I can get that transfer portal player and insert him into the, into the program quicker than somebody who's 17, 18 coming out of high school and doesn't, still wet behind the ears.
That's true.
But it's like, yo, if you're banking on that and like the retention rate is low, it's like, damn, bro.
Yeah, it's some tough decisions.
Now, if you know you're not gonna go pro, then I run it up.
That's what they doing.
Run it up.
You gotta think, bro. Majority of them not going pro. Majority.
Yeah, I'll buy that. I'll buy that.
It's what, like 450 spots in the NBA.
Yeah, roughly.
It's thousands.
Between 350 and 450, yeah.
Yeah, so it's right, because you got those players, like, they're not going nowhere. So then it's like, and players are playing longer now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's thousands of college players. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure in a given year, there's at least 1,000 or more seniors. Probably not on like the major schools, but you gotta think everybody's participating all across D1. You know what I'm saying, with this. So it's like there's a lot of players. Maybe maybe not 1,000, maybe like a couple.
No. You're on track, and I think I was getting away from it a little bit too, because I want to keep it to where like we're shining a light on this deal with the NCAA allows more players to get paid. Yeah,
I like that.
And we're talking about like the 2/3, 3/3 of the roster who was really just still playing for free.
Right.
And they might not even have been on scholarship.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like,
I think that's dope for them.
And they weren't getting the NIL deal with Joe's fucking car shack or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like to be able to have some sort of payroll for players, I'm willing to argue that being a student athlete, it's still a job. And you should get something for it, even if it's $30,000, $40,000 for the season.
I'm gonna tell you right now, it is for sure a job, bro.
Oh yeah, because you played. You've played, so you know more than anything. So I think it's huge. I'm glad that former players are getting a bag too. I wonder what that breakdown is gonna be. But shit, even if I was a former player and they sent me a check for $250,
hey, cash it.
Prize Picks. Man, that's dope, man.